Yes.
Hello, my name's Charlie. I'm going to show you how to structure a story. So what you need first of all is something, this is circular. Did I say close up or did I say face at this stage? You're supposed to be on my face. I'm talking to my niece. Now close up. Now we draw a circle. Now you need a straight line. I don't ever have a ruler. This is something that I can use as a ruler. Everything's books.
I took the ruler at
All right.
memory.
And then you need this. So this is what I always do to start a story. So this is a structure we're going to... These, look at me. These are the things you need to work out before you start your story. First thing you need is a hero. Close up so she can see the word hero. Sammy, that is so not helping, is it? The hero exists in a location. Did I spell that right? Yes.
Probably.
Okay, so the hero exists in the location. The hero, look at my face again. This is fundamental. The hero has an underlying problem before the story even starts. Hero with, that's the symbol for with, underlying
Weirdo.
shush. Problem. Okay, so these are the things that they're there. These are your starting points. Are you looking at my face? The next thing you need, this is another important thing, is you need a call to adventure. This is the thing. It's like the foot that will kick off your story. No, it's not the foot. Are you looking at my face? The call to adventure is the starting point of your story. It's the call to start your story. So this line is the threshold of adventure. Threshold. I don't know how many H's there are in that. Adventure. So adventure. I'm not going to write the whole word. You know what the word adventure looks like. So the hero. You start off with the hero. The hero has a call to adventure right here. And then do they answer the call? Do they not answer the call? It's the world's shortest play if they don't answer the call. So they're going to answer the call and they're going to start off and they're going to leave their location and go into the world of the story, which will get weirder as you go along. So they will cross the threshold of adventure. Along the way, they will meet helpers and they will have problems. And these things will get bigger. So this is the word helper written bigger. And bigger problems. And then the biggest problem. And then you will have a magical helper, which is like the biggest type of helper, but magical helper.
Like Frozen.
We're not using that as an example. Helper. And the magical helper will give them like a key or like a magical tool, some sort of piece of problem-solving, magical problem-solving magic. Magical magic can be literally a thing or a potion. So they will give them this magical twinkle, 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 twinkle thing. The hero will then take this twinkle, twinkle thing. At the end of every story, the action has to get ramped up in energy, and this is usually done in some sort of chase, whether it's literally people running fast after each other, or it can just be like a verbal thing or an emotional thing. But you will have, at this point in the story, everyone will start rushing and the energy will increase as everyone rushes to get the magic thing to solve the problem, and then they will solve this is the crux. What am I going to do for this? This is the point. This is the point where everything happens, where the magic is used to solve the problem which was caused by the call to adventure. This big problem, the biggest problem, the magic is used. Kapow! Kapow! And then it also solves the hero's underlying problem. You need to work out all those things before you start, or at least the main ones. The hero, the call to adventure, who's the helper, who's the problems, what's going to be the solution, and then some sort of chase scene with running and cool action that makes everyone go, wow. They're the things you need to think up before you start. Now, you have parameters, which are very stupid. Your teacher hates you to come up with these parameters.
What if our teacher sees this?
I don't care. I am an international best-selling author. If a teacher sees this, maybe the teacher will learn. Okay, so your parameters, too late for that. The ship has sailed. Okay, no, the thing, I've broken this pen. Okay, so you think, oh, this is all just confusing, Auntie Rachel. Yes, it is. Storytelling is not simple, or otherwise everyone would do it. Okay, So you actually have some of this stuff. So you have your location. It's an alien outpost. You know that. And you know that it's a rom-com. And you think, well, what's that got to do with your crazy list of things you need, Auntie Rachel? Well, I'll tell you what it means. It means this magic thing, it can be something as simple as true love or a kiss. I mean, how many rom-coms end with the boy and girl, or not that they have to be boy and girl in this gender fluid age. The two people realizing they're in love and sharing a kiss. That can be all the magic thing is, because love is magical. You know, it really is. And then they have to like rush for some reason. Okay, so you already know what your magic thing is because it's a rom-com. You know it's some sort of act of love or true love's kiss or self-sacrifice. You know, you love this boy, but he's about to fall off a cliff. So you don't push him, you rush and put a match. I don't know, I know, but you know, it's an act of love, the magic thing that's going to solve the problems. So who is your hero? You've also been given the chipettes, which is just the worst part of this idea, the chipettes. The other two things I could work with. I don't know who the chipettes are. I've been told by my children, one is a nerd, one is cute, and one is popular. Terrible cliches. So you could pick one of those. I would personally pick someone entirely different to be your hero, and you want to give them a problem. Well, the first problem that springs to mind is they live on an alien outpost and they're really lonely.
Well, what would they do with the chipettes then?
Don't rush me, okay? I will get to that. So the underlying problem, just for the sake of this demonstration, could be that they live on an alien outpost and they're lonely. Close up of the word lonely. Did you get a close up of the true love's kiss and the alien outpost being the location? So we've got 1, 2, 3 things now already sorted out. Story's half written itself. Okay, so they're lonely. What's the call to adventure? I know what the call to adventure. Sometimes the call to adventure can literally be a call, like a phone call. Or you think in Harry Potter, it's the letter to Hogwarts. That's the call to adventure. Or in Lord of the Rings, it's Gandalf knocking on Frodo's door. It's Frodo in Lord of the Rings. But he does the same to Bilbo in The Hobbit. Okay, so the call to adventure. How about it's just the chipettes are knocking on the door? How can you knock on the door? It's a space outpost. I don't know. It turns out the chipettes have been sent into space by NASA and their spaceship doesn't work. And they need to go home so they can record rock and roll, whatever his chipettes do. So the call to adventure is literally the chipettes ringing your doorbell saying, help us, we're stuck in space. This is my picture of a doorbell. And the chipettes are on the outside. And so you're on the International Space Station feeling lovely when all of a sudden the chipettes turn up. Now your adventure is you got to get the chipettes back to Earth so they can record a rock and roll song. I'm just making that up as their problem.
Pop.
So you're going to say, okay, well, I could just like put an engine on the space station and we could, fire the space station back to Earth. So yeah, you go with them and you start launching the space station back. And the chipettes can be your helpers, chipette 1, 2, and 3. But then you have problems. It turns out the chipettes are opening silly string and it shoots you in the eye and you go blind. That's your first problem. You go blind. You can change this for any problem you want. These are just examples. Okay. And then you go on, and perhaps you've got 3 chipettes. So maybe the other chipette, so maybe 1 helps you here with a silly string, and then the 2, or cheese string, and 2 helps you by, you're blind, so they take you to the toilet. There's a horrible toilet malfunction, and your leg gets ripped off.
What?
So now you're blind and legless, things are getting really bad, and then, you can't see, but chipette 3 tells you, oh my God, she wouldn't say that because that's rude, she'd say, oh my gosh. The space shuttle is crashing and we're all going to die in a fiery inferno. That's the big problem. So that is the big problem. You're all going to die. And the thing is, it's not just you, the chipettes who America loves. So you're all going to die. Big problem.
No one likes the
What about the
chipettes.
romance?
I'm getting to the romance.
Okay.
I haven't forgotten the romance. And it's like, how are you going to get out of this? You're blind. You've had a leg ripped off. You're looking after the chipettes. You need someone to talk you through landing the spaceship when you can't see. You ring Houston and say, Houston, I've got a problem. I've got several problems, but I've got a tourniquet on one of them and blindness I can fix when we get to Earth. I've got to get the chipettes back to Earth. Your long lost ex is the person at NASA who is in charge. And he's like, Charlie, is that you? And it's like, don't call me Charlie now. I'm Captain of the spaceship chipettes. We have to be professional. And he's like, but Charlie, I love you. I've always loved you. He's like, shush, 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 shush. We can kiss when we get back to Earth. And he's like, I need you to focus and stop thinking about how much you love me. And he's like, I can't. It's like, focus. And it's like, okay, tell me how to land this thing. He's like, all right, do exactly what I say, and your minds meld, and you do what he says, and your hands become like an extension of his hands. And the chipettes are annoying, but you tune them out, and you know, so this is the high action bit, right? Where you know the space shuttle is plummeting back to Earth, and the fire, it's getting hot. The chipettes, all their fur is singeing, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna die! We can't sing! Ah!" It's like, "We're gonna make it." He's like, "You can do this. Just don't forget to press the brakes before you slam into Earth." And he's like, "I don't know what the brakes are. I can't see. I'll just pull this switch." And it's like, "Is it the one there?" And it's like, "Yes, it's the one. Pull it. I love you." Try, "Stop saying you love me. Focus." It's like, and you land, and the chipettes are saved. And you're bobbing about in the ocean, and they open the door, and there he is, the flight deck manager, whatever he is, and you kiss. And in that act of true love, him talking, so it wasn't a true love's kiss, it was you mind melding with him because he's your true love. You were able to just work as one. That was the act of true love. So in that act of true love, it solved the problem of you didn't die in the furly. Are you focusing on this? So it solved the number one problem. The chipettes didn't die in the big fiery inferno. It also solved the problem of the call to adventure. The chipettes need to get back to Earth. You solved that problem. You got them back to Earth. But it also, the true love, act of true love, the mind melding, saving the space shuttle, solved your underlying problem that you started out with as the story began. You were lonely. So that's, I mean, I just made up random points. But if you have all those things that I started with before I started putting blue on, you'll have a story. So they're all the components of a story. You can put that onto any story ever written, ever. All right. Okay, it's late. You should go to bed. Turn the video off.